She just took my son is gone, and I don't really have words. I've tried to figure out what I was gonna.
When you wake up to what seems like any ordinary morning, the calm of a suburban street is suddenly pierced by flashing red and blue lights, a soundscape filled with the low hum of armored vehicles and the rhythmic stomp of boots against pavement. It's the kind of scene you expect in a Hollywood thriller, not in a neighborhood where children ride bicycles and neighbors greet each other with coffee in hand. Today, however, that illusion of safety has been shattered. In the center of it all stands a towering mansion estimated at over $30 million, surrounded by a convoy of unmarked black SUVs. Behind the gates, federal agents move with precision, rifles in hand, documents and sealed envelopes clutched tightly, executing a raid that has left onlookers both shocked and uneasy. Those neighbors who dare to peek through curtains or stand on their porches in robes and slippers whisper to one another, sharing fragmented accounts of what they're witnessing, as if trying to convince themselves that this is real. From the start, the operation seems methodical yet chaotic to those observing from the street. Heavily armed officers make their way inside, while others maintain the perimeter, ensuring no one enters or leaves the property unchallenged. Non-essential personnel are gradually retreating to the armored vehicles, no doubt conducting quick debriefs on what they've seen within the mansion's walls. Boxes and black cases are carried out, some with bright yellow evidence tags swinging from handles, others sealed and opaque, their contents unknown to anyone but the agents themselves. A sense of surrealism permeates the air. One neighbor claims to have seen at least 15 agents entering simultaneously, while another recalls the deafening crash of a battering ram slamming against a side door, followed by shouts from inside the mansion. Shaky, viral videos circulate online almost immediately, capturing fragments of this extraordinary event. Agents holding laptops and flash drives, or maneuvering a heavy safe down the front steps. The videos gain hundreds of thousands of views in a matter of hours, fueling speculation and conversation across social media platforms. Authorities confirm that the mansion belongs to the parents of Carmelo Anthony, who are already under indictment in connection with the controversial $10 million GoFundMe campaign tied to a high-profile murder case. This is not a superficial or symbolic raid. According to a federal spokesperson, it was a deliberate, surprise enforcement action carried out without prior warning, designed to preserve and secure evidence before it could be destroyed or hidden. The timing, nature, and intensity of the operation immediately raised critical questions. Was this raid triggered by suspicions of offshore accounts tied to the GoFundMe funds? Could it have been sparked by leaked communications implying hidden assets? Or was it simply a preemptive measure to ensure that crucial evidence remained untouched? These questions ripple through the neighborhood, the media, and the internet, creating an atmosphere of tension and intrigue that is impossible to ignore. Hours after the raid, the courthouse becomes the focal point of another unfolding drama. The thud of a gavel punctuates the murmurs of reporters scrambling to get their stories straight, while inside, the mood is tense, anticipatory, almost electric. Prosecutors confirm that significant evidence has been recovered from the Anthony mansion but declined to reveal specifics. Witnesses describe the shift in the courtroom's atmosphere. Jurors lean forward, pens in hand, taking meticulous notes. Defense attorneys exchange nervous glances. Carmelo Anthony's parents sit stiffly at the defense table, hands folded, faces taut with concern. Outside the courtroom, media crews review every second of the raid footage repeatedly, analyzing agents' movements, whispering into radios, and noting the gleam of the mansion's polished stone exterior reflected in the flashing lights. Social media theorists speculate endlessly: were offshore transfers discovered? Hidden financial accounts? Connections to witness tampering? Some interpret the raid as evidence that prosecutors are closing in, while others insist it is a carefully staged move designed to sway public opinion even before the trial begins. Meanwhile, the family's legal team responds with measured defiance, issuing a single, succinct statement: "We will not be intimidated by theatrics. Since my clients have nothing to hide, anything seized will only prove their innocence." Yet the silence in the courtroom communicates its own weight. Jurors and spectators alike are left to contemplate the implications of the raid. If evidence collected from the mansion has the potential to shift the trajectory of the case, will the defense strategy survive? Could this event mark the beginning of the end for the Anthony family's legal battle? As body cam footage from the raid is projected onto a large screen, grainy images capture agents moving with meticulous care through marble-floored hallways, opening doors, prying into safes, and tagging stacks of documents. Even without explicit explanation, the symbolism is devastating. What was once a private symbol of wealth and security has become a site of forensic scrutiny and legal peril. The prosecution's voice is steady as it describes what the images reveal. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no ordinary scene. These items were not simply discarded. Credible information suggested that this property contained items directly related to the ongoing investigation into financial crimes, which served as the basis for their collection. One still image lingers on a sleek black laptop, evidence tag swinging, as though frozen in time, hinting at the depth and significance of what may lie within. The defense immediately objects, claiming that the footage is misleading and theatrical rather than factual. The judge partially sustains the objection, instructing jurors to focus on legally admissible evidence. Yet, in the minds of those in the gallery, the raid has already made a profound impression. Whispers fill the room. Some spectators clutch their purses or fidget nervously. Online, the body cam footage is captioned "beginning of the end," rapidly gaining traction as it circulates, each view intensifying public curiosity and speculation. An officer who oversaw the raid speaks next, explaining that this was not a spontaneous operation, but the culmination of weeks of planning, surveillance, subpoenas, and careful intelligence gathering. He presents hard drives, financial ledgers, encrypted cell phones, and sealed envelopes removed from hidden compartments within the mansion. His words carry a calm authority. "We executed this warrant based on credible evidence suggesting concealment of assets." A hidden wall panel is revealed, causing jurors to visibly react, some with raised eyebrows, others leaning back in contemplation. Defense claims that nothing was concealed appear tenuous in the face of physical evidence strategically tucked away from plain view. The courtroom shifts again as a digital forensics expert takes the stand. His voice is measured, lacking grandiosity, yet every word resonates. He begins displaying a comprehensive analysis of data retrieved from encrypted devices seized during the raid. Charts, timestamps, and transaction records reveal that several encrypted drives contain transfers between shell companies and accounts located overseas, including banks in the Cayman Islands. Some transactions eerily align with key events in the Karmelo murder case, suggesting deliberate, strategic financial movements. The implication is clear. These were not casual or haphazard financial activities. They were carefully orchestrated attempts to move and conceal funds at critical junctures. Defense attorneys pushed back immediately, questioning the veracity of the documents and suggesting the possibility of hacker interference. The expert counters, presenting metadata, IP addresses, and login information tying the transactions directly to the Anthony family, including email addresses previously linked to the household's financial accounts. Jurors and spectators are left to process the weight of this evidence. While the legality of offshore financial activity alone is not inherently criminal, the timing, secrecy, and method of concealment cast a long shadow of doubt over the family's public claims of innocence. Social media is flooded with hashtags like #SecretFiles, #HiddenRoom, and #offshore accounts, reflecting widespread fascination and outrage. Back in the courtroom, the tension thickens. The prosecution emphasizes that this evidence is more than mere accounting. It is a window into a pattern of behavior. Agents meticulously cataloged ledgers, encrypted devices, and hidden documents, items clearly intended to remain undiscovered. Jurors, witnesses, and the public alike are forced to confront the possibility that even the grandest homes can harbor secrets capable of shaking the foundations of trust, legality, and perception. As the expert walks the gallery through charts and timelines, showing the interplay of financial transfers with high-stakes moments in the murder case, the silence in the room is almost tangible. Each slide, each data point, each revelation adds a new layer of complexity and tension. Outside the courtroom, analysts, media commentators, and social media users speculate endlessly. Was this raid a calculated strike to uncover assets hidden in offshore accounts? Could it be linked to witness intimidation or attempts to hide evidence related to the GoFundMe controversy? The answers remain uncertain, but the public perception is already forming. The Anthony family had something to conceal, and federal agents found it. The digital footprints and physical evidence, meticulously cataloged and presented, make it increasingly difficult to dismiss the raid as mere theatrics. As the day fades, the mansion stands as a silent testament to the power and reach of federal enforcement. It is no longer simply a home. It is a symbol of scrutiny, secrecy, and the thin line between public perception and private reality. For Carmelo Anthony's parents, the legal and public battles have only just begun, and the implications of the raid are likely to reverberate for months or years to come. Jurors, prosecutors, defense attorneys, and the public alike are left with a series of unsettling questions. What secrets did those walls hide? Were these financial transactions part of a deliberate plan to conceal assets, or were they simply misinterpreted business dealings? And if you were sitting in that jury box, could you ignore the weight of what you just witnessed, or would it shape your understanding of guilt, innocence, and justice forever?